Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Endless Legend. That's right, we're back, I'm not dead. Well, not on the outside anyway, and my outside is still capable of playing Endless Legend, so we are here to do that thing. So we missed a couple of days last week, a couple of days of uploads. I am feeling the burnout a little bit, but I also have my own mental stuff. I've talked about it a little bit in the past, and I'm not going to bore you with a big long explanation now. Sometimes I have to take an impromptu day off, or a couple. And honestly, if I'm being totally honest, part of it is that I don't really like the position that we're in this game, and that does make it harder to sit back down and try to get myself out of it. And when I say the position we're in, what I mean is the position I've put us in to some degree. I will say that starting next to the Forgotten Player is my least favorite thing in Endless Legend. It is always a miserable time, because you are always at war with the Forgotten, no matter what your diplomatic status says. They will always be spying on you, they will always be pillaging your stuff. The only way to deal with the Forgotten is to kill them. I think that's more true of them than it is of any other faction, even the Necrophages. I would rather start next to a Necrophages player most of the time. So, our extractor has been pillaged. I don't know that we've actually seen stuff get pillaged too much this game, so just for clarity, in 8 turns, this will come back online. Right now, it is as though we do not have an extractor here. We have no way to speed this process up. I can't, like, rebuild it in the menu. It's possible. I've never tried this. Could I... Okay, no, I am not. I am not allowed to destroy this and then rebuild it. We do have to actually wait the 8 turns. It's not a big deal. We have enough dies and enough die income that we'll be able to keep our die booster running. We are exactly at replacement rate without that extractor, so it's not a big deal. Other stuff is going to get pillaged, though, without question. At some point, they're going to come for the minor faction villages, and those take a little... No, they don't. I was going to say those take a little while longer to do, but look at that, down in the lower left. They do, in fact, have 30 fortification health, which is, I believe, exactly what the extractors have. Yes, it is. Okay, well, so those will go down pretty quickly once they start getting pillaged, and we need to get some kind of military in position to stop it. We are sort of ready to start building military. Here in Belon, Belon is pretty powerful. It's, like, maintaining fervency is important for military growth because it does give you plus 30% industry, in addition to the value of food, increasing your population, and thus giving you additional industry. There are good reasons not to just go super hard on, well, if we need an army, all we should build is troops, right? Like, obviously, as it is a 4X game, any amount of additional resource income you secure makes you better at everything. It is worth noting that we need to get a volcano former over here. Some unit that we build needs to, in the very near future, come over here and drop a glass steel volcano former to transform the tiles that we've gained from the museum, and also the tiles that we will continue to gain as we stretch out to the spiral rock peel and eventually the Mycordia. That doesn't take very, it's a single turn action to do that. What else do we need to do? We do need to secure the ability to build lots of troops. Here in Lilygo, are we ready to go as soon as the mill foundry's done, or do I want to do some other stuff? Winter is coming very, very soon, so I do not think that we want to build a seed storage. We probably will just go straight into Stone Sentinel construction after the mill foundry's done. In the capital, we're already on Stone Sentinels, and that looks fine to me. There's something to be said for building a Burrow Street, because of course there is lots of additional industry to be earned out here, especially in this direction. We have some good anomalies, but I think it's reasonable to have the capital on troop production. We need to overwhelm Purple. As I believe I said previously, I don't think that Purple's military units are super great. So early in the game here, we should be able to overwhelm them with just raw numbers. At least we would be able to if they were another player. Given that they're an endless level AI, they have a lot of extra resources, so who knows how many units they will actually build. Alright. We have our faction quest. It is moving forward slowly. We have to search this ruin right in front of us. When we search the ruin, we will immediately get 15 titanium. No, sorry. When we defeat these guys, we will get 15 titanium. I'm strongly considering searching the ruin and, like, immediately snapping our hero over to the Stone Sentinels. I believe what will happen with this army is that it will come to us. It will come to try to attack our cities if it doesn't get fought right here. So we could search the ruin, get the results of the ruin search. We want to search it twice in quick succession, get the quest search and the normal search, I believe. And then just let them come to us, and that way we're making progress on our faction quest without having to keep our hero all the way out of the way for so long, because he really does need to get back over here and help us fight. It actually would probably be better to have him, to create him as an army on Belan so that he could drop that volcano former, but that's a little bit more clicking around in the menus time, and I'm not sure that I'll want to do that. Yeah, I don't know. I think we're going to do this. I guess what I could do is just hit unassign. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Alright. Ooh, actually, never mind. I'm going to hold off on that. That is a single Drider. We could totally just kill that, actually. We also found ourselves a quest. Build a public library and get 120 dust. Actually, a pretty relevant reward right at this moment. I would love to have 120 dust. Are we thinking we're building a public library anywhere soon? We only have one city that doesn't yet have one. We'll see. Let's get the mill foundry done. We know we need to do that. Alright, Driders are better combat units than they used to be, I believe. Thanks to the community patch rebalancing the minor faction units a little bit. You can still see here 20 attack, 20 defense. So we can reasonably expect he'll be doing half damage. I think we could just take him. Turns out we're going to get our 15 titanium after all. Yeah, even at this very, very low health, I think we can just take him. So yes, we do want to start as far back as possible. Get the maximum value on our charge. Yeah, I've mentioned this before, I think, but I find it way more frustrating to record this series when I feel like I'm doing bad than I do with any of my, or doing poorly, than I do with any of my other series. Like, my feelings about my level of competence affect my feelings about playing the game way more with this one. And I'm not 100% certain why. Okay, well now we can just go ahead and do what I said. Unassign and create army on Belan. Get that volcano former down. And we now have enough titanium that we could build some golem camps. So putting down a golem camp in the position that we volcano formed over here adds a tremendous amount of industry to this city. I think it's, and a point of population, remember, on top of this. It's very hard to imagine that it's wrong to do this. I know that's going to slow down the city's first couple of units, but they're going to come out very, very quickly after that's done. Like, if we're adding 16 industry and a point of population, so we're looking at 76 now. Our stone sentinels cost 192. We're going to take we're going to take an entire turn off of each stone sentinel. Probably more by doing this. And you need to, where do we want to drop this thing? All right, let's go ahead and make it. We know we want it. Do we want to put it right here? See, what I'm thinking is, it's a little hard to see because of the exploitation texture laid over things. But this tile's already volcano formed, right? So putting it right here gets all of the new exploitation tiles and all of the exploitation tiles that we'll claim by building the next district too. But it does only volcano form 6 tiles. It's a little bit inefficient. So I'm wondering if we might be better off doing like here for the maximum 7 and then down here afterward, and that way we get, because if we're going to expand out into these tiles anyway, we're going to have to volcano form these 2 eventually. I think I'm going to do it that way. It would be 6 glass steel to make the next volcano former. We don't need to put that down right this second, but this also doesn't actually volcano form this tile. It might be the case that, like, maybe we want to put one here and then one here. That leaves this tile unvolcano formed, though. We're gonna have to lay down an overlap somewhere. I guess like here and here actually ends up making the most sense. Yeah, because no matter how we did this, one of the next two volcano formers is gonna have some overlap. So do we want to just throw this down right now while I'm thinking about it? Given that we don't have any titanium income at all, I am disinclined to spend titanium on volcano formers right now, I believe. Just do that, we'll get all that stuff flipped over. Alright. So, since we ended up with the resources to build golem camps, do I want to throw down the golem camp here as well? Probably, right? Oof, it builds so slowly, but like, look at how good it is. 5, 13, 16, 5... It's probably 6, 13, 14, 10. That's pretty good. There's also this location down here, which gets us a ton of science. That's right, we have like little clusters of anomalies all over the place. This is better. 28 additional science is so good. Yeah, alright. Right there, and I think maybe we just like really devote ourselves very strongly to these golem camps and then we build up our army. It does slow us down a bit. How much would it be to buy one out? 1326. So each turn of this thing is a little under 200 dust. We're probably not building that library, like, immediately. We are going to get 20 Moonleaf for free in a few turns. That's pretty cool. So I'm just refreshing myself on what we have in our quest log, if we have any easy way of gaining a bunch of money, and it looks like we probably do not. Okay. Well, we did move our faction quest forward here. So we got ourselves 15 titanium. If we search the ruins in Melantur, we will get the Coney School of Elite Riders. Big fortification boost to the city, and tremendous XP boost to units trained in the city. It costs Palladian, which we can't currently get, but, you know, I presume between our what will become 3 volcanic regions once we get this, we will probably be able to find ourselves some Palladian. Alright, so then the next thing. Well, actually, hold on. How's our hero's gear? Pretty out of date. Let's fix that real quick. Are we... Hold on a second. We're 2 turns away from alchemical armor. Probably we should save titanium for that. For being able to equip the... The accessory that gives the army damage boost. We should probably save glass steel from here as well. So that's a thing to think about. Future constructions. I believe the trinkets cost 11 each, so we would currently have to get a hold of a little bit more titanium or cancel one of the golem camps. Do we maybe cancel the capital's golem camp? Have them, in fact, just go straight into unit production? It is very unlikely that a cavalry slaying spear is the right weapon for us. So we have the choice of a 2-handed hammer, 27 attack, 20 damage with stun 3, which is a 30% chance to stun on each attack, or a 1-handed hammer with a shield accompanying it. I don't think the shields are super great at this level. The biggest benefit of having a shield is the Sharp Sense ability, which gives you a big fat bunch of bonus defense against ranged attacks. I'm not expecting to see a lot of ranged attacks out of our enemy here. Well, maybe. Their second era research unit is a ranged unit. It's possible that they have some. So let's give them the big hammer for right now. Alright, next turn we'll have the dust to retrofit the stone sentinel, which will be good for us. And you only have 4 movement. You're going to get stuck in the lava. Okay. Yeah, we want to make sure we execute this move immediately. Yeah, he'll get stuck in the lava. Okay. What did you guys want? You wanted a thing we can't give you. Okay, well, we can bring our hero over here and we can destroy this village. Or perhaps bribe them if that seems more sensible. And then try to get another quest from the villages in the region, and hopefully they'll be a little bit more reasonable. Something that's a little bit more accomplishable. Alright, I do not think that we have an easy road ahead of us. Even if I had set us up optimally in the previous episode, which I do not believe that I have, I think that we're in a tough spot here. I don't think I actually vocalized this, and I probably ought to. I'm gonna hold off on the hero damage trinket. I think that the production bonus, like all of the extra stats from having the golem camps built, is too valuable. Okay, they noticed that we have been settling around them. But, to be fair, they settled around us too. It seems like they literally didn't have a choice. It was that or don't have cities, but still I'm cross about it. Alright, do we want to try to fight these guys? Do I think I can take them? We have a ton of defense. They're very messed up from walking in lava. Yeah, sure. Let's get our hero some XP. I guess the way we should probably do this is have these two unite. Because as it is right now, if the hero's defeated, he'll be wounded and he'll go back to the academy. If he's actually in the army with this unit, then he'll have access to Last Stand. So we'll just unite them at the beginning of the next turn and then take out the Harmonite here. Actually, the Harmonite might die to the lava. I'm not really sure how this is going to work, because they're going to take damage for ending their turn in that lava, I believe. And nothing else to do but wait. So unfortunately, this is not a thing you can do with the queued movement button. We could have our hero move next to the army, but we couldn't have them actually join up, so we have to execute these clicks. I can't quite make it. Alright. We'll fight you. Oh, there are going to be Urkans soon. That could actually be very helpful to us, depending on where they emerge. I think we're definitely going to take Saddle Up, even though Saddle Up has no immediate value, just because I really want to get to Stirring Dragoon as quickly as possible. Finished our alchemical armor. Alright, let's do this. So now we can use our hero a little bit more aggressively. We don't have to worry about him dying. Although, we also don't really have to, right? Like, we could just wait over here and make them walk in the lava to come fight us. They only have one move. So I'm just going to let them walk across the lava here, and then we'll figure out what combat looks like. Oh, you can see we're being pillaged again. You stay right where you are. And I'm not 100% certain whether he'll actually execute the attack order if we leave him in stand guard mode, so let's make this manual. Alright, that right there is the reason I wanted to do this in the way that I did it, because our hero will just last stand now. Okay. 21 more XP, not bad, and we're going to get 6 pearls right away. That's nice. Where are we being? We're being pillaged. Yep, it's that village. Also, they have a bunch of dudes over here, so we can see their stats a little bit. Alright, so you can see Infantry Slayer and Range Slayer. They're correctly equipping a sword in one hand and an axe in the other hand. I don't think the base game Forgotten do that. I think that's an Endless Legend community patch improvement. That Acrobat capacity they have means that they can move through our units in combat, which is important to remember for planning positioning. The amount of fortification damage we're seeing here, you're seeing it colored gray, which indicates that it's being done by a neutral army, but what that actually means in this circumstance is that we can't see who's doing it. A neutral army would not have enough fortification damage to do it this quickly. That is definitely purple. Definitely purple, just being really resolutely horrible, as the Forgotten always are. Oh, sure, we should probably research stuff, I guess. So, We definitely want meritocratic promotion to jam more units into our armies, but we don't necessarily need it right this second because we don't have enough units to take advantage of it anyway. What do we want to build right now? What do my city's approval levels look like? Pretty good. So we don't necessarily need to go to Central Market. Here's the thing. We are not going to build any more buildings anytime soon, I don't think. So we probably want to pick up something we can get the benefit of without having to build anything, which pretty much means either Imperial coinage to buy the titanium we need for that army trinket, or we do just go ahead and get meritocratic promotion now. I think we can do this first. We'll do this and then we'll go get promotion. That'll be closer to the time when we're actually producing more troops. So right now, like I said, Purple is spying on us. There is no doubt of that. That's their whole deal. Is they have at least one hero implanted in one of our cities as a spy. That is a certainty. Okay, they backed off the pillage. I appreciate that. At the beginning of the game, it makes the most sense for them to use their spies' steal technology ability to gain technologies for themselves. Because the Forgotten cannot research normally. They don't see science on the tiles. But at some point, that spy's going to start taking offensive actions to weaken us, leading up to a purple attack. We have to be ready to fight them soon, because that is coming. That's going to happen. So I think what I'm going to do here, we have 1 to 11 turns of winter left. I think what I'm going to do here is build the public library, not because we need the science, but because I need the 120 dust. Well, 120 dust isn't enough to rush things, though. It's like it's an awkward amount where it's too large to get in most other ways, but also, I guess what we could use it for is the bribe. Yeah, we need the 120 dust to bribe this village. Okay, that's fine. And then from there we'll probably start building military units. So yeah, pretty soon we'll be pumping out golems non-stop everywhere. Are we just at, yeah, just 1 per turn? Oh hey, the thing happened. Well, let's go ahead and pop that moonleaf, because one of our cities is not quite at fervent. That's very fixable. And yep, a level 4 decreased population action in the capital, bringing the capital's population down to 2. That is exactly the kind of shit I'm talking about. 1 actual point of population plus the point from the minor faction village. That sucks a huge amount. That's just terrible for us. You know what's not terrible for us? All these pearls. We've actually done very well on pearls already. Alright, so next turn we'll have the dust to buy you guys off. Add a point of population to Lilygoo. Yeah, oh, interesting. They just settled across the water. Alright, so you got our 120 dust. Let's bribe these guys. And then we gotta go get a new quest for the region. Okay, they're back to pillaging this village, and it had not recovered enough from the 1 turn of pillaging they did before to put any extra time on the clock. So that's going to be gone next turn. I'm going to keep these people on food until that next citizen is born, and then we're going to switch this city into industry mode. Hopefully winter will end somewhere around there. The first Urkan has spawned, and he has spawned quite far away from us. He wants 30 Moonleaf. Boy, he is quite far away from us. That's going to be tough for me to interact with. Especially considering that all of my military units are going to be focused on running around my territory killing purple dudes. Okay, what would the cost of 3 titanium be? Right now, it's going to be 70 some. It's going to be about 80 dust. So, once winter ends, we'll be getting more dust again. But even at this rate, it's not going to take too long to build up the necessary dust, especially with the extra dust we're getting from the golem camps and everything. Alright, so Bellon is ready to go into... And hey, look at that. It is, in fact, purple. So we could close our borders to purple. I don't use the closed borders diplomatic term a lot because it's not very useful, broadly speaking. If an army is entirely stealthed, if every unit in an army has stealth, it can cross borders that are supposed to be closed to it. You can force them out of your territory by getting vision of them. And we will be building at some point here one of these guys with the... We should probably have one of these guys in each army for the true sight. But broadly, it is not going to help us that much to close our borders. We're probably just going to have to run around and kill a bunch of them. The good news is, because they love pillaging so much, they'll be running around in our territory a lot. So it will be easy to get them in situations that are defensively advantageous to us. So if we take over Melantur, they'll give us the shipyard tech and be pacified. I'm going to be honest with you, I kind of wanted these villages pacified so that they would help, we could get those 2 points of population to help us take Melantur, but that's a pretty good reward. Alright, as soon as Laris finishes its golem camp, it's in full unit production mode. I guess, hold on. Let's make the Tedicate first. Let's update the design for this thing. These guys are pretty cool looking. I don't use them very much, but they're pretty cool looking. I think... Do we need the extra defense from the shield to keep these guys alive, given how difficult it's going to be to keep the purple units from meleeing us? Again, remember, that acrobat ability, letting them just move through our units, is going to cause some problems. Or do we want to go for a longbow for the damage? We're looking at 18 attack, 10 damage, versus 18 attack, 4 damage. But point-blank power will help offset the losses from having... when it says close range attack here, it means range 1. This helps offset the losses from the negative morale from having enemies adjacent to you. Yeah, I think let's stick with the hand crossbow. And then we'll just put some basic armor on you. I almost want to put the improved vision trinket on, but we should try to keep their cost low. I was thinking, like, the guy who has true sight, being able to see one tile further definitely has its value. Increases the cost of this unit by less than 10%. And we're not going to be building a ton of these guys anyway. Yeah, alright. Give me one of those, and then a bunch of stone sentinels. We'll fill this army up, and then we'll do that. All of our armies will be like 5 stone sentinels and 1 of these dudes. Just take advantage of that true sight as best we can. Can we move anybody off of? Nope, better not. Let's get that one birth and then move on. How's this city going to do on births? Okay. If we move people over to speed that up, we will add a turn to the golem camp. The golem camp is so many extra points of resources, and it's a point of population itself. It's probably not worth slowing it down. Alright, let's build units. Let's just be very aggressive with the unit building. And this turn, we probably have the dust necessary to get our resources set up for that trinket. Hold on, let me make sure I'm remembering the cost correctly before we go and do that. Yes, 11. Okay. In 2 turns, we'll be able to do the glass steel one. Naturally, I'm not going to buy glass steel, but this, we may as well do it now as soon as we have the money. So, army damage boost 2 gives the entire army 8 damage plus 10%. And initiative boost 2 is probably worth putting on. It would be awfully nice if we went first. So let's get up here to hopefully catch some of these pillagers in the act. They did back off. They didn't actually do that, which I do really appreciate. Ooh, if we do this, we're actually going to lose population. Winter cannot end soon enough. And now that we have all of the researches done that are directly helpful to us for military purposes, I guess, given that we want to keep Yotus as our assimilate for a little while, probably it is worth picking up Golem Riders. They are good units, too. There's a lot of value in having circular attack. Yeah, sure. This war is going to be a little awkward because we're going to have units coming in from more angles now once we declare on them. We also have to actually figure out our influence situation here because we're going to want influence for the war declaration, but we also obviously still need to have the influence necessary to get our... Oh, they have Nidya. Okay. Well, that just seems like a real shitty thing to do. But we're going to need influence for the war declaration and for our empire plan, right? So, maintaining our current empire plan would be 60. I would love to do this or even that, but I don't know that that is really feasible. I think our empire population is low enough, and we have to keep everybody focused on industry, that probably we're going to have to settle for this, or maybe that is even going to be difficult to maintain, actually. A declaration would be 47. That should be fine. We should be able to pay, because we're going to gain another 42. So with the war declaration, we'll have 65 left for our empire plan. This should be fine. How many turns are left on these boosters? Okay, the die's going to pop next turn. We're extremely okay with that. Everybody's going to stay fervent. You know, if we hadn't had a bunch of population nuked out of one of our cities, we're actually not in, like, a horrible spot here. I would love to get improved movement trinkets on people. Should we be building them with improved movement trinkets? How much does that up their cost by? 192 becomes 240. That's a pretty significant percentage increase. And we're not talking about huge distances of travel here. We will have about 20% fewer troops if we get the improved movement trinkets on them. I don't think the distances are great enough to warrant the extra cost. It's a little awkward right now moving up from Liligu, but we'll be pushing mostly from the west. The troops from Liligu will be able to defend Liligu, probably. We can always warp our governor hero over there if need be. So that guy's going to take forever to actually pillage that out. We will definitely be able to stop him if they don't have any other troops show up. Ooh, look at that. 7 pearls. So let's get you out here, and how do we want to do this? So I would want to fight any of their armies that are in our lands first. Just to try to, you know, lower the number of troops they have. Oh, wow. Yeah, religious fervor is awesome for us, because with the golem camps, we are built on top of a huge number of anomalies. Okay. Well, then all of a sudden it becomes very feasible for us to get a better empire plan. Yeah, probably just build another stone sentinel. So I guess we're just going to try to head toward Malantar. I mean, the best thing for us to do right now is probably to head toward that ruin for the Empire quest, or for the faction quest. Get the faction quest rolling forward, and then use that as an opportunity to, like, scout out what the number of troops sitting in this garrison is, and if it looks like attack is viable, then we attack. And also, we remember to equip Makani Che with Army Initiative Boost 2 at this moment. +4, +10%. Doesn't sound like a lot, but initiative values can be pretty tight. That may well be enough to let a significant number of our units go before them. And at summer food output rates, we're regaining our population quickly here, growing pretty slowly there. And actually still negative on... Oh yeah, I guess we are actually still negative on food here. That's right, I forgot about that. Forgot about the fact that we settled in a place that had no food on account of all the other wonderful things that it did have. Okay, so that guy's got to stay on food maintenance. Do we want to throw down an altar real fast? How many turns is that? It's not very many. It doesn't hurt things too much. I would love to know what's up with winter upcoming. It would be 409 to buy out. So we're not going to be able to rush this. With all these tiles being volcano formed and us picking up the spiral rock peel, the value of this tile is pretty big. But either way, we're probably not going to have enough pearls to actually make any prayers happen. And in 2 turns, each prayer is going to be like at least 3 pearls. We might be able to throw 1 prayer. As much as I would like the extra resources, maybe we should just stick to building troops. This slows down the unit by 1 turn. Yeah, it adds 1 turn to these guys. You know what, let's go ahead and get it. There's value in information. So I'm definitely just here to push my faction quest forward. No need to panic. Okay, Melantar only has base fortification, but also has a massive army. Or a massive garrison, rather. And they pillage quickly. Do I want to run... My plan was to run these guys in the direction of reinforcing that army in there. But maybe I want to run that way and potentially fight them off. I mean, I'm far enough away from the city that I can't fight them, but I can maybe spook them. No, with the amount of fortification damage we're seeing there, though, this is definitely a full-sized army. Yeah, never mind. And here we have 2 assassins who probably do not realize that we can see them. I'm not sure how much the AI makes its decisions that way, based on whether or not it thinks you have vision of it, but these guys would reasonably assume we don't have vision unless they were to click on us and look at our army composition. And they actually might not be able to see my army. Because the village, their minor faction village, only has a sight distance of 1 tile. Is this actually completed? I can't... Yes, okay, this is completed, so they can see us. It's so hard to tell with their construction style. Like, this just looks like scaffolding to me. It looks like that is still under construction. Alright, well... Let's... What do we research next? I guess... Industry improvements, maybe? At some point, the Moonleaf is going to wear off, and then we are going to need a real approval solution. Especially once we start taking over new cities. So maybe it is a good idea to pick up Central Market now? We are tearing it up on research, which is very useful. 470 for each unit, so we're accumulating a buyout every like 9 turns, which is not really a useful rate. And apparently they just popped some emeralds. You know, I feel like I almost never see the AI without AI fortification values without emeralds on them. So with them having 5 units in Melantar, we need an actual serious army to attack it. We can't just roll in there with 4 units led by a hero. We're going to need a lot of bodies. This guy try to get in here and join up. I think I'm going to have these guys set to me. We're going to get the faction quest rolling, right? And they're going to successfully pillage that village, and there's not a ton I could probably have done about it. But that doesn't make me not angry. So hopefully you guys are seeing what I was talking about a little bit when I said that you are always at war with the Forgotten. Okay, so we have spawned for ourselves another neutral army. This one is considerably tougher. 3 units, and they're better units. I guess I'm not really... Am I going to try to run through this way, or should we go around toward Bellon? Might not be... Like, this might just get this one unit killed. I guess, actually, if this baits military units out of Melanter, that's probably actually really good for us. And we could just go steal their pearls, because they're not going to like us no matter what we do, right? Okay, so we finished that altar. Next turn we get 2 more stone sentinels, which is enough to fill this army up. I'm kind of thinking maybe we just go after these guys right away. I'm hoping that this quest army is going to charge Laris. We probably have to get over here and fight some of their dudes on ground that is favorable to us, in the hopes of making it very awkward for them to defend once we push in. And there's no sense, like, we're not in any rush to attack Melanter because it already has its defenses very assembled. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. I guess I didn't look at the winter effects. Should probably have considered prayer there. I guess it's possible that guy's just going to attack this one unit here. Maybe should have thought about that a little harder. It's also possible, I suppose, that he's just not going to do anything at all. Ever? Seems strange. We probably don't have to manual this. Yeah, I totally did just put myself in this position. I was thinking about how dangerous all of the player armies might be. Okay, so you know what you're doing next turn. You guys should head up here. Okay, so they've put together an army there. So we have all these. We have these Stone Sentinel 2s that are the same as Stone Sentinel 4s. So what are we actually looking at here? Just a bunch of Assassin 2s in a really good position for me to jump them next to our city. And some of them are low enough on health that they will die if the army just retreats from us. And if the army fights us, I think we probably kill them all. Alright, we now have access to Golem Riders. So Golem Riders can be equipped with spears or claws. I think we're probably in more of a claw type situation here. So do we want to build a couple of these? What is the 62 attack, 50 damage? So our Stone Sentinels are not good fighters. They're good survivors, but they're not good killers. Golem Riders cost about 45 industry more. But they are capable of actually killing things. Their defenses are a lot worse. Their HP is very similar. Yeah, we should probably get some Golem Riders out. But actually, maybe Golem Riders are a better project for this city. Since units from that city have to run a little bit further to get into combat anyway. You can see here blue spreading their disgusting blooms all over the place. One problem at a time, right? We'll get to them. So this Stone Sentinel just dies if we don't go save him. Maybe I'm okay with that. Maybe he traded his life nobly for some pearls. Oh, this winter effect is horrible for us. These are all not great. I guess this doesn't affect us that much, but it would probably actually be good for purple, because they'll be moving into Adamantian and Palladian strategic weapons soon. Getting no resources at all from our strategic extractors, I guess, is not the end of the world, and this at least does negatively affect purple. Yeah, alright. We will just hold on to these pearls for later use. So we are 3 techs away? Yes, 3 techs away from moving up to the next era. When we get up to the next era, there's some things we're going to want to have. We certainly will want alchemy workshops. We certainly will want management sciences for the apprenticeship registry. There's definitely some value in getting, like, diplomats, mans. Oh, we're going to need imperial highways. Actually, let's make that our next priority, because as much as, like, we want these buildings, we currently can't build any of them because of our titanium situation. Although we do have the dust to correct the titanium situation. But imperial highways are going to be very helpful. The roads and the watchtowers, both. So do I want to fall back and save this guy? No, I think I want to pluck this 6-unit army of purples while we can, because I think they've put themselves in a really bad spot. I'm willing to trade this guy's life off for that. He's going to run around here, and they'll lose sight of him. And maybe they just won't be able to find him, and they'll go for the city instead. Let me make sure I have the move entered for you. I didn't give this guy a move order, but I should. That guy just totally ignored the move order I gave him. Well, that's inconvenient. And these guys have gotten vision of us again, so I expect this army is in some trouble. Okay. What do you think the odds are that they actually fight us? A retreat here kills 4 of their units, I think, so they'll probably stand and fight. And we are in position to do pretty well here, although our initiative is a problem. Alright, Tedecates are technically ranged units, but they only have 2 range, so we have to do this if we want them to be able to shoot at anybody at all. I guess I'm going to put this guy here. Mostly what I'm thinking with this is I'm trying to keep them from just running forward onto our guy, but there's actually nothing we can do. Yeah, I'd much rather have him in a position where he potentially can attack. Although, like, what do I think they're going to do? So I'm going to shoot. And then this guy's going to go, like, to here and attack our ranged unit. So actually, we probably are safer doing this. Yep, unfortunately, we have very little control over who gets to attack where. Let's see how it plays out. That's a pretty good shot. So I'm surprised to see that they're willing to fight our infantry when they have the ability to run through and attack our ranged unit. The Tedeke is unusual in a couple of ways. One thing is that despite the fact that it is a ranged unit, it has free counter. Like, as far as ranged units go, it's actually a pretty good melee combatant. Guess try to kill this guy if you get a choice. I think our hero is probably not going to get a lot of options here. And I want at least 1 militia unit moving out this way. Oof. Dealing 0 damage, huh? Well, that's embarrassing. So yeah, we get to attack and then we get to counterattack, which is nice. Alright, the very best thing would be if we were somehow able to come out of this without losing a unit. Come on, 0 damage. Ah, that's a shame. Still, that's a pretty good trade. We took a very small amount of damage and lost 1 guy in order to kill 6 of their units. Now, a loss of 6 units would be just absolutely brutal for us at this point in the game. I'm sure for them, this represents like 1/10 of their total military or something. I mean, we may as well fight it, since retreating now is suicide. Is there a way to make this at all sensible? I stay right here. in a position where I am likely to have a defense bonus and they are not. And we just hope that they roll a bunch of zeros on their attacks? Nope. And there we go, we got 1-0. Okay, I feel bad for him, but you know, the situation evolved rapidly. I think we made the right decisions there. Let's definitely get a Golem Rider out of this city. And I think that it looked like those guys are maybe coming to Lilygoo, so I'm going to leave the unit that we just built there for defensive purposes. And yeah, now we just got to move forward and put pressure on purple somehow. So next turn we have another 2 guys finished. The city has gotten pretty large and impressive, and I'm hoping that means that when we take it over, it will be very useful to us. I'm also hoping that we'll be able to take it over. You know, that's still maybe wishful thinking. This is him squawking about, yeah. Oh, no, it's him being mad about the pearls. I thought it was going to be like, aggression during Cold War, how dare you? Alright, well, it turns out they're going for Belon instead, which actually is way better for us because there's a hero in Belon who could use the XP from this battle. Alright, so we have actually quite a lot of influence to play with here. Sort of want to do that. This doesn't allow us to declare war until next turn, which is like, oh no, what a shame. Yeah, I think I like this quite a bit. The building production cost and the unit production cost together are a little awkward, but because obviously we can only benefit from one of them at a time in each city. We can only be building one thing. But I'm hoping that this war isn't... We're not going to be building troops for the entire sequence of 20 turns here. Fingers crossed. The Mykara are the first person... Okay, so they're the first person to have 30 units at the same time, which means that we know that Purple has fewer than 30 units, or had fewer than 30 units before we destroyed their 6-unit army there. So that's actually kind of encouraging. Yeah, let's get some Golem Riders bringing up the rear here. We're producing a lot of riders. This is maybe going to be a tough war, but I think we're in like a reasonable position here. So I was hoping we were going to take Melantur a little bit faster. It looks like the free shipyard unlock is probably not going to help us push to Era 3 any quicker. We'll probably be in Era 3 already by the time we have any chance at all of owning Melantur. Okay. We do, now that we have the resource, or now that we have the resource part of the market open, we do have access to stockpiles, and we actually do have the dust to buy them, which is an unusual situation. I feel like we have a lot more dust this game than we usually do. So, we could use our dust to acquire an additional governor, or an additional military commander. We could use our dust to buy a couple of stockpiles. These are the low-value stockpiles, 100 resources each, but, you know, Belon, that's almost a turn of production. Probably food is what I would buy, right? Bursts of food would be pretty good, and 100 is a lot relative to the amount of food that we're currently producing, whereas 100 industry is not a boost of the same percentage magnitude. So we could buy all these food stockpiles. No, we cannot. We can buy a couple of these food stockpiles. I was kind of thinking governor would be a smart way to go here, but maybe we should in fact go for the stockpiles. I'm a little torn, obviously. A leveled up governor, I tend to buy governors when I have a lot of dust, right? When you have dust and you have ungoverned cities. Because governors, although they do not have the same sort of immediate impact as a stockpile, they get really powerful. And there's an Exid the Chosen here, who would be awfully useful in the capital, perhaps. We will be able to afford soon. He has industry efficiency 2. Yeah, that might be the smarter play. Because he's going to be so many points of resources over the course of the game. There is, of course, always a higher than apparent advantage to getting early boosts in resources, right? Early advantages snowball. But man, a leveled up governor is a useful thing. I think we're going to save up for Exid. It's not that many turns away. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's right. Okay. So, I'm not exactly sure how this is going to go. I'm hoping they'll just attack Bellon. It's worth noting that these ice wargs are cavalry units, so militia are very powerful against them, although they also have a lot of damage and kill militia pretty quickly. But I don't think we should be in any danger of losing with 2 real military units plus the militia in position here. Okay, so they're going to come to us, which I really appreciate. Somebody has reasonable trade routes. Good for them. Who do we want to initiate this battle with? I think I'm going to just use this guy. We'll meet up with the main army over here instead. That is a purple settler. Maybe headed to Gimail. Maybe headed to Skyen. For the moment, headed to the coast, right? Okay, I think... I was about to say, do we want to head off of our path to pick that guy off? And I think the answer is probably yes. Let's resolve this first. I'm going to have our military units, our proper military units, kind of play back on this a little bit. Let's see, they have enough movement to come over here and hit him. I definitely want to fight them on the volcano tiles. We do have to be careful with Ipsawacha as well. Basically, what I want to happen here is I want the militia to absorb the majority of the damage that is going to be taken over the course of this battle. Alright, so you can maintain a height advantage. You guys can just run around to here. I am definitely going to pin this dude in place. He does have sweep strike back, which I guess makes this a little awkward. Whatever, we'll live. Yep, somehow it turned out we were okay. Kind of wonder if maybe it is a smarter play to not attack him. Oh, actually, if I hit him from right here, his sweep strike back will not hit any additional units. It is nice to have some people who are capable of like getting out there and really dealing damage. Because golems are not going to be very good at killing Purple's units. Alright, we've earned our Coney School of Elite Riders. I assume the next step of the quest will be to build this thing. We repelled the strikes, but by the time we reached the ruins, they'd been scorched. When the fires died, we found only charred and twisted remnants in the ashes, their purpose and origin unrecognizable. Ariga's denizens are frightening. We must train Kapaku to ensure our safety. And I know just the place we could build to train them all. The Kapaku stand at a great crossroads. The history of this world remains shrouded in smoke, but it cannot be disputed that Ariga seethes with intelligent life. Myriad races occupy the planet, from windswept deserts to snow-covered peaks, from shadowy forests to deep caverns, even in the clear, terrifying seas. The Kapaku have found creatures that are much more than simple beasts. Understanding is difficult, but we cannot deny the truth. They are civilized. They are like us. Except for one vital difference, more like a gulf in truth. Where we suffer and struggle in Auriga's hellish landscapes, they flourish. And that's the great dilemma that threatens to tear us apart. Do we attempt to claim the entire world as we originally intended, and consign them to death? Or do we try to fashion some equilibrium with these races, so all may survive? The doubters say turning Auriga into a world of rock and lava would make us no better than the machines, while the defenders chide that we have no time for sentimentality. In their eyes, to think we can share this world is the deadliest naivete. Overseer Elohis and Custodian Tua share the latter opinion, of course. They are not always in harmony, however. Yesterday I spied them in furious argument, the endless a trembling volcano of suppressed rage, while Tua spat gobs of incandescent fire. Elohis stonewalled me when I later asked the nature of their feud, while Tua answered with barefaced lies. She told me their quarrel concerned only tactics, and in the larger strategy of conquering Auriga they were united. I don't know which path we should take. All I know is that there are secrets to uncover. The Endless have a past here, I am certain of it. If I can't ascertain that past myself, then I must create champions who can. So we must build the Coney School of Elite Riders, which we currently cannot do, but we do have access to the ability to purchase the Palladian at least, so maybe we do that. Maybe what we end up doing is just waiting until we can mine it ourselves. We're not that far from being able to see it. Unfortunately, when we do it, we will just get 25 wine, which we don't really need. We certainly have wine. Okay, here they are, being mad about aggression during Cold War. Well, continue... prepare to continue being outraged. And I would have to declare on them to attack here. Do we declare this turn? I don't really have a lot of defenses around Liligoo, but they don't necessarily know that. I don't know that they've seen the city. Like, they know where it is, right? Because they have explored this region, presumably. And so, just like we knew where Itleni was, they know where Liligoo is, but they have to actually have real vision of the city to press the infiltrate button. So it's possible that they haven't got a spy in Liligoo, and thus do not have any idea how undefended it is. If they were to move units out of Malantur toward Liligoo, I think we could probably punish them for that pretty hard by taking the city. So maybe this is a good time to declare? I think the Golem Rider's fast enough to just catch up. We'll have this guy head around this way. Alright, you know what? We're at the hour. This is maybe a good time to think about this. But I think it's very likely that we are declaring war this turn, attacking the settler, causing it to retreat, and then finishing it at the beginning of next turn, and marching on Malantur immediately afterward. We've just taken out a pretty large army of theirs. Man. We don't actually have Shipyard yet, so it is not a trivial task to go over here. If we did already have Shipyard, it would definitely be right to turn around and grab this city. It's undefended and it already has 5 population. When we take Malantur, we will get Shipyard. Remember, that is part of the pacification quest here. So maybe that's the move, although Avram here is going to be their capital, presumably, unless there is another region. Oh. Yeah, with Fakir having moved over here, maybe there is, in fact, a land bridge. We can see that there's land right there. Land right there that Blue accessed already. Yeah, this actually might be one contiguous piece of land, then. Boy, that is really far away from Blue's territory. Huh. Okay, but, I mean, I'm getting distracted. But I think the plan still remains the same. We're saving up dust to buy Exit the Chosen. We're going to declare war on Purple, try to take Malantur. And if it doesn't work, if we're not able to, at the very least, cripple Purple's possibilities for winning the game, I think we're going to find that it's extremely difficult for us to remain competitive, because Purple is never going to stop harassing us. So that's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time, tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow, I mean it. For another episode where I think a big portion of the fate of this game is going to be decided. And we'll see you then.